the death hill. Speaking straight from the heart in Earth's 432, his words ring true, exposing the tribe that lives to choose. Speaking straight from the heart in Earth's 432, his words ring true, exposing the tribe that lives to choose. So the team you have found the jack string, tune in, locked on deep dive, take the lead. Voices in the forever secrets we keep. Stack sound waves, rebel tales, no scripts to drill. Static lines awaken, it's a cognitive thrill. Casting the echoes, the lone voice prevails. We decode the static neath the mainstream veils. You are part of the team, part of the jack stream. And now jack stream lives in you. You know what to do, it's time to get it together. Welcome to Seekers, enter of your own free will. No blue already, get to the death hill.
Oh yeah.
You are part of the team, part of the jack stream. And now jack stream lives in you. You know what to do. It's time to get it together.
Oh, fucking A. We had to start a little different this time. Remember that one, right? Jack Stream, baby. So I guess welcome to the continued orchestrated collapse of this living piece of dog shit we're forced to call our society. Yeah, I'm your host, Reg from Alaska, and hope to be with you here for a bit. Anyway, as we continue to fight for our property and rights, which, yeah, fuck, I'm continuing to do that right here. And going through all the bullshit, and then just the other day, fucking knock on my door. Nobody ever comes here, right? So there's this knock on my door, and I look out there and I see a hard hat, and I'm like, oh fuck. And yeah, it's a lineman to you know, cut my power. Motherfucker. And I was like, dude, it's snowing, it's winter. This has got to be illegal, right? And no, apparently it's legal. It was illegal up until like 2020, I think, and that's when it changed. And now, yeah, if they feel like, you know, that you know, you're not making a reasonable effort to pay the fucking rat bastards, that they shut that shit off. Check it out, the master hat, and it's also got Che Guevara and Jen Cash, baby. So, but yeah, got through that fucking power cutoff thing. Called my cousin real quick. She hooked me up some money. Boom. Had to pay these rat bastards off. But it's made me quicken the pace. Got to quicken the pace on this whole accepted for value thing, which I'm going through again. Kind of dropped the ball on that for a little while. But I mean, I'm fucking scrambling to, you know, make some dough. Doing this fucking DoorDash thing is a nightmare, especially when it gets slick out, right? I was fucking got, dude. I thought it was it, right? I fucking farthest dash I've ever went on, all the way up to like, there's a little town called Houston up the road here, past Big Lake, everything, right? Farthest I've ever gone, right? And I go down this road, and it's kind of ghetto, right? And obviously it's not one that's maintained, right? And so everything seemed fine going in, but when I was coming back out, man, I come back down past the train tracks and down to this steep ass hill, right? And I'm like, oh fuck, I didn't realize it was that steep. And I'm like, oh shit. And I start to hit the brakes, and fucking immediately I break loose and start fucking sliding, right? I'm like, no, the fuck, right? And so I'm like pumping the brakes and, you know, keeping the fucker in slightly control, right? And it's just on this goddamn steep ass hill, and the highway's right there, the fucking highway, right? And there's, I look and I can see headlights coming, and I'm like, motherfuck, man, no way, this can't be it, right? So I've never really, I've been in the cars when they've gotten hit before, but I've never crashed one myself, in an accident with somebody else, right? I mean, I've ditched vehicles before, avoiding the wreck, but never fucking crashed anybody. I'm like, no, this can't be it, right? And naturally, it's coming this way. I'm gonna try to get the T-bone me, right? At my driver's side, I'm like in the little fucking bitty Scion, and I'm like, motherfucking no, right? This can't be it. And I get down to the fucking bottom of the hill. There's a little flat area, and fucking it's just all the dirt from the highways getting thrown on there, and just come to a fucking abrupt halt right before I'm shit out into the highway, right? And I'm just like, it stops. I'm like, fuck, thank God, right? Oh, fuck, never so stressed, right? And I literally had to end the dash after that and go home and chill because fuck, man, that was quite the fuck. Oh, fuck. And so it's been slick for the last few days. I've been paranoid as shit, right? And so welcome everybody. Welcome Stephen Crumley. He's got a good comment. He says at this point, Greg is too quality of a journalist and speaks too much truth to be associated with Jones anymore. It's like the male version of Whitney Webb. Yeah, that's a good call there. Yeah, he is. I think I don't see his sidebar up on band video anymore, so I believe they have parted ways. Joey, what's up, brother? How you doing? Aloha. Loken. Right on. Welcome. Everybody saying hey, right on. Probably going to be a shorter one this time because I got to get hustling again. I got to get my dumbass back out there and fucking be driving around and fucking delivering people's fucking burgers. Yeah, it's right. And mostly like fast food and shit. People, God, it's insane what the fuck they have me deliver sometimes, right? And they pay, pretty good money for this shit. But my car always ends up stinking like Fat Donald's, right? Oh God. It's right. And I just grabbed some shit out of the car just a minute ago, got my water and stuff, and I was like, fuck, it still stinks like that shit, right? It's but it's at least a little bit of money trickling in. And then I was selling some shit there for a while. I've been making all this new kind of stuff, right? And it had a little burst of sales there, but then they dried up. And so I'm working all kinds of other angles. And I don't know if you caught the video that I just uploaded. I'm trying to do some videography for some of these people who do their own music around here at the open mics and stuff. See if I can scare up a few bucks that way. And then our local fight promoter dude, he bought the AFC, and so he's upgraded. He's named Cadet Sullivan Arena now, right? And so I thought I'd take some of these AI skills and put them to the test. And cologne would smell better. You're right. And so I put together, I just took the image of his poster and I put together a little bit and animated a couple of the contestants there and set to a song that I made and put in another AI image of like an angel that I'm doing this thing to get ready to paint my tonneau cover of my truck. I'm going to paint some kind of like an angel of death type thing, right? And airbrush it on there. The airbrushing's been going pretty good. And so Stephen called me, one of my dogs got to one of my shovels and chewed the handle up. So I welded the shovel head to a piece of steel pipe. A minute ago, I hear metal clanging, and this fool is carrying the metal pipe in his mouth. Oh, yeah, no doubt. I know, right? Dogs, they're so awesome in ways and so dumb in others, isn't it? Right? And they'll eat their own, oh, God, yeah. I almost was trying to get a guy's got some puppies I know. I was almost trying to get one of those. And then my cousin talked me into reality. We're at this gathering, right? And he's like, dude, I've got a friend who's got 2 puppies right now, and they're both sick with like parvo, and it's cost them thousands and thousands of dollars. And I'm just like, oh, fuck, man. That's one thing you don't think about is the animal getting sick and then costing you a shitload of money. And I'm like, oh, you're right. I don't have any for that. And so Steve Curley goes on to say, running through the yard with like a 72-inch piece of steel pipe in his mouth. Yeah, it probably got chipped a tooth, but yeah, that's funny. Hard-headed dog. Yes, they are. Southern Mama, welcome. What's up? How you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, doing the airbrushing thing. I've been able to move a couple things here and there, and I'm working on one over here on the board that's looking pretty cool. It's kind of maybe a prototype of what I'm working on to do for my truck, the back cover of my truck here. I think I might be able to get it in view here. Let me just grab it. The shirt on the board. It's like a tan shirt, but this is just the rough job so far. Grim Reaper, right? And I found like a AI image that I'm basing this on, doing it. So the secret is I got this projector here and I'm projecting the image on the surface and then airbrushing around it. So just in case you're wondering, right? That's how it's working, and it's coming out really good. There's another one for the pool players, right? Oh shit, can you see it? Can't see it hardly. No. Oh well. Here's the Hustler, right? Paul Newman, Jackie Gleason. Now we gotta be able to see this one though. This one's the badass one. Yeah, there. You can see it, kind of. Crown of Thorns, baby. And it came out really good. It's a blue-red. And I like that one. The one I'm wearing is one of the skeleton ones, right? These are pretty popular. And so I'm going to finally start taking some of these AI images, upload it to my print-on-demand site and start doing that. Maybe I can start getting some sales again, because the fucking images I'm getting are insane, right? Insane. And so the mom was saying, lost my voice again, another fuck. Oh my God. Love the art. Thank you so much. Yeah, I've been back into it pretty heavy. I go freaking go and do a couple sales here this upcoming month, including the Fur Rendezvous and stuff like that. And so yeah, yep, Jesus. Stephen Coney, those are awesome words. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, not doing the stencils much anymore like this stuff. This skeleton one. Now this is just a plastic skeleton you get from like the Halloween store, right? And I was just laying it on the pants. The pants were hot. Got a pair right here. And the black always burns an orange, right? Right there, you can see the skeleton, the positive and negative on either leg, right? And then on the back too. And so these come out really good. That one's got a little bit of red dye on it. Same as the shirt, so a little bit other than the orange, the orange that it burns to. And those were popular for a minute, right? So 4 or 5 pairs of those real quick, like $40 a pair, you know. And then a couple of the shirts too. And then I've sold a couple of these shirts. That one with the although one was on order, right? It was like, I think I got $60 for it. $20 a head for the 3 rockers, right? And that one was badass. That one was probably the best one thus far, right? And I'm going to start to do more of those, right? Do the dead celebs and shit like that, right? You know, this one had Dimebag Darrell, Eddie Van Halen, and Randy Rhoads, because the guys, that's my guitarist buddy, bought it, right? Steve Coney, I got an idea for a t-shirt, kind of like a superhero type of art. Call him the noticer. Hide some stuff that only aware people like us would realize. I wonder if people would buy those. That's an interesting concept. Fuck yeah. The noticer, right? Hidden little NWO bullshit and stuff like that. Yeah, that's not bad. It's not bad at all. That would be good. You should do a pig, man. I do that once. Right. Those things are, those human animal hybrids are going off as far as videos go, because a lot of people are making those kind of things with the AI now, right? And man, that shit, I mean, say what you want about it, but I mean, it really does some amazing stuff, along with its retardivity. Don't get me wrong, because it still is stupid as fuck, and it proves that all the time. And like, I've been generating these videos, and it'll nail one, and then it'll just be straight fucking retarded in another one, right? And so I could probably show you a couple of those. The walking killer whale, right? Absolutely, that's got to be done. Yeah, I got to get back into either. I got to get back into my old print on demand shop, or I just start a new one, right? A new one on now that the game has changed a lot since when I was doing it many years ago. Fuck, I don't know how many years ago it's been now. Fuck, a long time. But I'm going to try to revise a few of those ideas from that now that I have this AI, artwork going on, because that shit, I mean, it's so bizarre. You can make the coolest shit and it spits out 4 at a time, right? And it's just like, what the hell? And I did an animation between 2 of them with the Angel of Death. Yeah, that shit is dope. It was in the video I uploaded for the AFC. And yeah, that guy's gonna get back to me here after he gets off work. I sent him the link, and he was like, I'm not gonna click on that. He's figured it was like a scammer, right? You click on the link and boom, virus explodes your phone, right? And so after he did text me back, I'm like, all right, I better call him up. So I did. He's like, yeah, I wasn't gonna click on that shit. So I hadn't seen it for a long time, right? We haven't talked forever, years, right? And but once he gets a load of that ad, he's gonna definitely be interested, because it's got the original music and everything that fits the scene and all. And then, I mean, I just made that from his poster. Imagine what I could do if I had the actual footage, right? And so, Stephen Crumley, I've never messed with AI. It's an app or a website you go to. There's multiple of them, right? There isn't just one. There's shitloads of them, right? And the one that most people are most familiar with, of course, ChatGPT, most popular one. Shit, South Park made that shit popular a long time ago. But that's the one that most people go to from OpenAI, Sam Altman, all that, right? And I still think it's gigantic fraud. It's just computing power is all it is, right? It's not intelligent at all, right? And it's never going to be conscious. And it's never going to fucking be able to do anything other than fucking shit the bed like it constantly does, right? And the only reason why they did this and they were getting everybody to believe it is so when they push the button, they can say, "Oh no, AI! See, the AI did it." Right? Yeah. So fuck that, right? Chen, what's up? How you doing? Welcome. Long time. Yeah, I know, right? Long time for me. Maybe looking DeepSeek is the new open source one, right? They're always gonna have a new one. Always gonna have a fucking trippy name, right? And it's scary. I was in the beer store the other day, grabbing a little beer and talking to the guys I know there. And this old boy was over here, right? And he goes, he steps on the counter, he looks at us, he goes, "Man, haven't you learned anything from Sarah Connor?" And I was like, we laughed our asses off. It was hilarious, right? And so, doing good. That's good. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Hell yeah. Getting through the winter up here. Shit, we're on the downslide now. Although February is notorious for being the worst month, of course it always is. And so, still got that to go through. And then, but it has been such a mild winter, right? We've been bouncing back and forth from melt, and there's only a half an inch of snow on the ground right now. It's insane. I've not seen anything like this in a decade or so, right? And so the creek's even open, man. I'm trying to get some time to go down there, but I've been literally fucking airbrush in one hand, DoorDash in the other, right? Basically for the past, oh God. I mean, everything's right here in this little thing now. I got the airbrush up here. I don't even have my station downstairs or anything anymore, man, because I got to work on this. While this is working, I got to do that, right? That's how it's been going. And I haven't been able to work on my Airbnb project for a while. But last night I got back and I just literally did a fucking a clean out, because I've just been tossing shit, right? Like all these little fucking pieces of fucking paper towel with fucking paint on it, right? Because I fucking have to fucking with that. But I finally uncovered the pool/ping pong table of all the shit I had strewn all over it, clothes and stencils and fuck, you name it, right? And all that hydrographic film and stuff. I finally cleaned that fucker off last night and then this morning, and actually can play a game of ping pong or pool now. But I think that's the next idea, is to do like a game room, rented out kind of thing for X amount of hours a night, executive game room, right? I'm going to paint something on the surface of the pool table with a little different shade of green. I think I'm going to put like a hustler scene and make it really sick looking and clean the whole area up and hang some cool shit on the walls and blah, 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 right? And trying for this DJ job at this bar down here, Tailgaters, and put in my pitch there to talk to the owner. Couldn't read him at all, right? Dude, he was like, all he kept saying was how much, right? Like all these guys. And so I told him 250, flat fee, 250 a night. No, because most people are 150 an hour. I said, I'm 100 an hour, but 4 hours, instead of doing 400, I'll do you 250. And he said, okay, I'll talk to my click, right? And then there's an open mic tonight that I get to drop by. I don't think I'm going to do any performing or anything because I'm going to be dashing, but I'm going to drop by there and talk to the folk in there, including the manager and Chai Seller, on this DJ thing, because I think they could use it, and I think I could pull some people because I'll do some advertising and all that. So, and as far as the legal thing goes, I got to get in. I still haven't been able to make it in Anchorage. Got to get in there and get that piece of paperwork that I'm looking for, the oath office thing. That's the key. And I think I got to do that tomorrow and sign up for a bunch of shit, blah, blah, blah. One of my cousins told me that I could go into Anchorage and go to the bingo there, and crafters go in there. There's people in there every night. You can go, anybody can go in there anytime, free, all that. And so I'm getting shit. That's why I'm working on stuff frantically. I'm going to get a bunch of shit together, hit that, because this will be the first time they've been seeing any of my stuff, and they'll probably definitely buy some. And so I'm thinking, tomorrow night, Thursday and Friday night will probably be good luck at that. But anyway, cheers, everybody. Plus, I hit up my little tribal corp here, which I did a little research on that, man. That fucking thing, those guys get a lot of freaking grant money, man. They've so far got like $111 million since they were started in like, not that long ago. Like it was 2014, maybe 10 years, right? 111 million, fucking what, right? And so I'm like, no wonder why those fuckers are so fat. But I'm trying to get in there because one of the guys that works there I've been playing pool with, and talked to the lead guy just the other day and pitched him on doing a drum class / crafting class, and then pitched him on the AI consultation thing and all kinds of different little things. In fact, I was going to email him with one of those songs. Well, I'll do that after. But yeah, and then when I go to Anchorage, I'm going to do that same thing with some of the corps, because I know that for a fact that none of these people are even know shit about the AI, right? And don't blame them, right? But know thy enemy is my policy, and so that's why I'm working with it and studying with it. Not only that, but it's a tool you can use, for your benefit and even against it. I think, because it's not smart. Last thing it is smart. It's like how they say military intelligence. Those fucking things don't go together. Artificial intelligence, come on, fake. Right there, it says it in the fucking name. It's fake. But yeah. But it does make pretty good music, doesn't it? I seem to think so. Other people do too. Other people like it. I know my one friend, the musician, right? He doesn't like it because he's biased against AI, right? I can tell. But no, I still like it. And the songs that I was just generating for the fighting thing were pretty good. Yeah, it's still kind of cheesy, of course, but like I said, the music in itself is good. And then I was fucking with Udio the other day, man, and I did that Halloweeny song in there. Oh my god, that shit is so fucking weird. Weirdly cool though, right? And so I'll have to play that sometime. But getting back to the point, in case we were talking about the Greg Reese interview, and I just listened to it, and yeah, it's nothing really earth shattering, right? Expected it to be something, have something, you know, some real meat and potatoes, but it was kind of meh. And so he talked a bit about Russia because he was over there, and you know, this is, mind you, this is like a month ago or something, maybe almost a month ago, and they talked about, you know, the different, of course, you know, the Kool-Aid and all that. Not a lot though, really. And then he asked him what was next for him, you know, and stuff like that. And so it's just really not really like a Reese report is always like, oh my God, right? It wasn't really like that. And so we could watch a little bit of it, I guess. I still got it up. Um, I guess the interesting part they were talking about towards the end, some life after death kind of stuff, right? And some what they believe that this simulation is and all that. That was probably the most interesting part. We could probably dive into that a little bit, and I could get you guys' take on it and see what you think. But yeah, that sounds like a pretty decent idea. Let's do that. Let's switch over to the other screen here and get it going on, because I was on the Suno screen. I still got to use up some freaking credits too. That's why I've been just like going overboard with that shit, right? So here we go. Let's pull up this interview, and we're at the end. So I'm gonna cut back a little bit, and we'll fire it up, and I want to see what you guys think, because you know, they're saying, you know, similar stuff to the whole simulation type thing and whatnot. And that was probably, like I said, most interesting part. So let's cut back a little bit. I'm gonna cut back to let's see, it's at 49. We'll go back to 35, 34. That'll give us 15 minutes back. And so here we go. Let's check it out.
And that you know, it's interesting. We all have our theories, and my theory is always, I always keep going back to it. It's been so often that because I like to question myself too, because I have a dumb human brain as well. And so what I got to the point where I was like, are you like a depressed, unhappy doomsday person or something? Because my research always brought me back to a cataclysm, a cyclic cataclysm.
Oh.
It does seem to be one of the biggest secrets in the secret societies, is hiding the idea of past civilizations that were buried in dust and cataclysms and stuff. And so my research keeps bringing me back there, and it's the only thing that makes sense, because I do think they're on a timeline. I definitely think they're on a timeline. They are acting like they have.
Yeah, you see, that's the most interesting thing, right? The cataclysm, this 2030 thing he's going to be saying right here, right? And so, yes, totally agree with this. They're on a timeline. That's why they're hustling. That's why they're pushing forward with all possible dispatch, right? Headlong, fucking devil may care, whatever, right? Here we go.
Like, times of the essence, this 2030 thing. They want to clear the surface up a bit. They want to put funnel people into these 15-minute cities for some reason. All this stuff. If you were to factor in the idea that maybe there's a cataclysm coming in 2040, 2046 or whatever, that the surface of the earth is not going to survive, and that people know about it, it would explain absolutely every single last thing that's happening. I challenge anyone to think of one thing that won't be explained by that. And for example, what you're saying right there, that makes sense, because they have these underground cities. They're probably growing tons of food under there, and so they're going to pump all the good air down there.
Yeah, and I think the approaching cataclysm is a giant asteroid or comet that's on a collision course, or a comet field that's on a collision course. And what's interesting to me, I've studied the comet impacts in the Bible, significantly studied that, and I've put out over 100 sermons so far on largely focused on this topic. And Jesus
planetary body, I'm sorry to interrupt really quick, but a planetary body, specifically a comet in most cases, is one of the most common parts of this story that you'll find in myth and history and scripture.
And massive civilization changes because of comet impacts, including, by the way, what's believed to be an impact, I think 12,500 years ago, that caused the ocean. It hit the ice shelf, melted trillions of cubic meters of ice, raised the ocean levels by a few hundred meters, burying all of the coastal civilizations at the time, which speaks to Atlantis and so many other things. And that's why when we look around the world today, if you go offshore, you go to a depth of 100 meters, 200 meters, you start finding freaking cities and stairways and right? It's all there, but it's underwater.
Yeah.
And I mean, some of it's on the mountaintops, like Machu Picchu and whatever, but a lot of it was coastal because that's where people gather, is on the coast, because ocean water, fish, obviously, transportation via boats, the most efficient transportation. So I agree with you. I think we've been lied. We're living in a Truman Show, man.
I think so.
Go ahead. You speak to it. What do you think are the biggest lies of history?
I like what you said about the ants, actually. And I like to use one of my favorite analogies, because it gets better over time, is the analogy of being a chicken on a chicken farm and kind of waking up and realizing what's going on and trying to tell the other chickens, hey, do you realize they're taking us in this room and they're ripping our feathers out and they're slaughtering us, and then they're putting us in trucks and they're stuffing us in these plastic bags and then putting us on these cold shelves, and then people are taking us home and eating us, and that would seem probably evil to the chicken, and the chicken who's out there telling the other chickens probably thinking like, this is horrible, and they're not going to want to hear it.
The other chickens say, stop blackpilling us. We're just clucking around here, and why are you blackpilling us?
Right. But I mean, is it really evil? It might be evil from a chicken's perspective, but this is the nature of where we live. However you feel about it, this physical reality, everything alive is eating other things that are alive. This body that I have is like, in my opinion, is like a cow. It's like, it's not me. I'm not a human. I'm not white. I'm not a man. I am a spark of divinity that I am trying to understand more and trying to be respectful of, that it has this weird opportunity of being inside of a human for about 80 years and experiencing a very strange experience. Being a human is a very strange experience, especially these days. I mean, it's extremely interesting. So I just think it's the biggest, I think one of the biggest conspiracies is trying to trick you that you're the cow, that you're the human, that you're the person, trying to make you, that's what the whole identity politics is. It's just another level of getting you to argue over the skin suit, the man bag. True. And that's all it is. It's just a suit. So I think it's more important for us to realize that life is short and that we maybe are here for something important between us and God.
Have you covered near-death experiences? Because NDEs are being, it's gone more mainstream now. Like 15 years ago, it was really fringe to talk about life after death. I prefer to say life after life. Do you believe in the immutability of the human soul? And
I believe that life goes on for sure. I have no proof of this, obviously, but this is something I've felt deeply. I didn't even question it as long as I can remember, since I was a kid. I remember I had a brother who died when I was 8, and even then, I didn't even. There wasn't a fragment of me that questioned whether or not he was still around in some way, somewhere. It wasn't until I got older where I started understanding that people actually question that. So it's completely foreign to me, the idea that anyone would even question it. It's actually one of the things that keeps me from church. I had negative experiences growing up with church. I've always been very close to God. God's my closest relationship I have. And I've tried going to churches in the past just because I move around a lot and it seems to make sense. Like, you'd make friends in the community by going to church. But usually I get there, and as soon as I get to the front door, they're like, and I don't mean any disrespect, but the first thing I get is, hey, have you heard the good news? Or, you don't have to worry about what happens when you die. And it's all about death and the afterlife.
Okay, we'll pause that. Sorry about that. I had to, I got the text from the guy in the fight thing. Yeah, he asked me to take the video down. Right. And whatnot. So I had to do that real quick. But yeah, not looking great. Not looking good. We got Stephen Comey saying the amount of billionaires building underground empires is what made me think this is a possibility. Absolutely. Yeah. Deep underground military bases, right? The dumbs. 100%. I mean, yep. I know that for sure. For sure. They think they're going to survive the land shift underground. Nah, that won't happen either, because everybody just thinks it's the whole planet shifting. No, it's the continent spinning, and it's going to be like in a roundup, right? The carnival, right? You're going to be fucking thrown up against the wall and your innards torn out, right? So they're not going to make it down there. You'd have to be at the center, exact center of the spinning freaking continent, right? And you wouldn't be moving that much then. You'd just be getting super hella dizzy, right? But not really, because it's such gigantic mass moving that you would be moving slowly at the very center. But that's my theory anyway. Stephen Comey, all these super rich folks trying to do everything to stay alive and still have control. I'll be standing outside laughing and enjoying my last few months before it hits. Wants to live that way. Absolutely, 100%. I mean, shrug the mortal coil, get your full power. That's the way I look at it. Look, the chattel, right? Yeah, that's exactly what they refer to us. They're breeding us for blood, right? Adrenochrome. Joey, they are going to send us to build Africa into a superposition operation 2063, right? Superpower, right? Yeah, I got that. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Now, according to the Adam and Eve story, Chan Thomas, the cycle of cataclysm, no, only a fucking handful of survivors will make it during the cataclysm, because it is just, I mean, you think about it, right? This is how these things got, they found those mammoth frozen with daffodils in their mouth and shit like that. They get frozen, flash frozen quickly, right? From going from the equator to the pole, and the pole to the equator within a matter of hours, right? Boom, you freeze solid. Or you know, the frozen things thaw out. It's just, yeah, crazy. You got to read that if you haven't read it, or if you don't want to read it, which is kind of boring. But you know, the cataclysm part is the exciting part. You can go to Suspicious Observers. He does a series on the cycle of cataclysm, and he's got a really great narration voice, and the way he tells it is really good. And so you can see the video there. I played it before on our live stream. Definitely pretty sick. And according to the Vote VOGT Institute, the guy's been literally studying ice cores for fucking most of his life, right? And he's narrowed it down to around 2045, 2046, right? And he even thinks it's going to be in like September. He's even got down the month, right? It's like, wow, dude. But this is a 12,000 year cycle. And no stopping it, right? It's the way the turtle shakes the crabs off. Turtle being the continent and the crabs being, well, you guessed it. Southern Mama Cody says, what's up? Hey, what's up? Hell yeah. How you doing? But yeah, you see they're getting into the life after death part. They're winding down on their interview. Like I said, this is the most interesting part of the whole thing. They're going to talk about one of his family members having a life and death thing and stuff like that. And so it's really kind of got finally interesting at the end. You know, Mike Adams will be like, oh, we're running out of time and we're just getting good, right? You know, running out of time. Come on, you can, you know, extend it. What do you got it? Go meet Alex Jones. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, you know what I mean. And so we can finish it up and then rattle on about it. We'll get you guys' thoughts on it, what they're saying. Any thoughts you got to throw out there, and then probably have to wind it down real fast because I gotta get my butt working, right? Get out there and get on my street corner again. I know it's hellish. It is. So let's go ahead and click back on this. It's only about, I don't know, there's about five minutes left or something like that. And they talk about some interesting concepts with the whole simulation and life after death thing that I found interesting. And I want to get you guys' take on it and see what you think, because it's definitely, you know, kind of trippy.
I could care less. You know, it's like what I'm more concerned about is this life, because this life isn't going to last long. And I believe, like, a lot of people think this is a trap and we're stuck here and it's not a good place. I don't believe that. I mean, maybe, but I don't believe that. I believe that there's a good reason why I'm here, that God has for me, that there's probably an agreement I made, or who knows. I believe that there's good to do here. And so we don't have much time. And so I think the most important thing is to examine yourself and to never play the victim. In fact, you can even look at any situation as something that you're responsible for in this, because this is a very strange realm we're in. And so I find that to be a huge benefit.
You were about to say something that I think is right on, that your soul and God reached an agreement for you to be here in this time and to inhabit this skin suit, as you call it. And
I think so.
I've said it's my belief that this is a testing ground, right? and this is not the real world. This is a construct created by our creator, and it feels very real to us. Obviously, 3D physical space, a certain flow of time that we can't, get out of. But beyond this realm, I mean, all the people that I've seen that have had near-death experiences, when they come back, they say that other place was way more real than this place. Like that was home.
Yeah.
You've seen some of those interviews?
Yeah, they're all very interesting because they all have a very similar story. I'm suspicious of everything. One of the best challenges I've heard to the near-death experience is yeah, but they were never dead, because if they were truly dead, they wouldn't be here. And so they were like,
it's actually hard to define death, it turns out.
It is very hard to define.
Yeah.
Because people can go brain dead and still be like, I did do a report on brain death, and I found out scary stuff that it's
organ
not that
harvesting.
uncommon. Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
No,
it's funny. I saw that report that you did, and I was on the same topic at the same time, because I had a relative of mine who was a drug user, died from a fentanyl overdose. And, it's not like direct family, but in the family, kind of distant family. But I told his parents, like, don't keep him alive for organ harvesting in the hospital, because the hospital was like, you should keep him on the machines, keep his body alive so we can harvest his organs and we can help somebody else. And I'm like, no, do not do that, because he is probably still experiencing this.
Yeah.
And they're going to cut him open while he's experiencing it. And they'll give him enough drugs to.
Yeah, you hear that? I think he's right too, right? They got him, they say they're brain dead. No, I think that, they've got him medicated, right? Because they want them organs, because they make motherfucking money. Money. We got Joyce and Reg to see about the Ouija board saying 5/27/25 was doomsday. I did not. Hey, is that just like that one dude always says the asteroid, right? I did not. Ouija board, yeah, come on. But 2020, well, we better get fucking hustling, because we ain't got long, right? Couple months, 4 months. No, I would believe 2045, but 2025 no, because the 2020 or 45 is what multiple, like the guy who's studying the ice cores, and then not only that, but the supercomputers they put on it too, right? The one that they did back in the 80s hit 2050, and the latest one, the Google one, 2045, right? And so yeah. And you know what they're using for data, right? Remember Mousetopia? Yeah, somebody posted something on that too, a filmmaker saying, okay, this is the most terrifying story ever, right? Because the mice, he did this several times too, right? They breed until they get it to about 600. And if they got all the food they could ever eat, everything provided for them, but just a small area, right? And they can't get past. And so after they get up to 600, they stop, the breeding goes way down, and they start to turn homosexual, and they start to fucking chew each other up and shit. And some of them just sit around and groom themselves, and they stop. The breeding just goes way down, and then say that how it ended. The last one was like, okay, the last mouse was born in like 1973, right? How many years they did this, right? They said, and then it killed the last baby shortly thereafter, and then that's the end of it, right? Dead species, right? And so they did this multiple times, and it happens the same way every fucking time. Crazy, right? And they're trying to say they can understand human society by these mice, and hey, might be onto something, right? So mama, they did a study on people after they flatline, their brains go into extreme activity in a certain part for a few minutes after the heart stops. Yep. Heard about that too, right? Mm-hmm. And so anything more on that grounding device, Reg? Nope. Dude, there's a place to order them. I'm going to figure that out. I do need to talk to Nick. I haven't talked to him for a long time. Figure that out. You order those ones that you hold by hand, and I'm like, I've got to start getting on the ones that I can make too. I need something to crush this quartz though, and I haven't been able to locate something for that. And I tried to smash the shit up manually. No, that ain't happening. The shit fucking, sharp shards of fucking quartz flying everywhere. No. And so, but from what I understand is you take a wood splitter and use the pressure of it on a welded steel plate in there, right? And it crushes it for you. And so I got to try to find something like that to crush the quartz. So that's the main thing. And then I can start to build these things. I know, man. I when I look at mine too, I think about that all the time, and I run through the notes sometimes, and I was like, fuck, I got to try to figure out this wood splitter thing. But nobody gives them up this time of year because, of course, everybody's burning firewood. And so best time to get one of those is more like spring. And so that's coming up pretty soon. So, but I'll figure out where that site is where you can order these things. I guess they're not that expensive, like $20 or something, right? The little ones with copper rods, hook up to a 9-volt battery. So, yeah, I'll get on that. Thanks for reminding me. Wait. What was he saying? Cody was flatlined for 12 minutes. Oh my God, 12 minutes. That's a long time. Look, it says, Reggie, you still have that video about that study that showed the signal leave the body upon death. That was it's the 28 grams. It's the weight, right? The weight that relieves off the body. There was the study was back during the tuberculosis outbreak, right? Which I believe was just another poisoning. No disease. It was just poison they gave everybody and said, oh yeah, disease. I mean, sure, perfect excuse. Yeah, you can look it up. It's a Googleable. But yeah, just put up 28 grams, right? And that will bring you up on it. And shit, they've made like little documentaries about, I think, and whatnot. So, and once you start searching through that, you'll end up getting these other suggested videos. Will show you, like, there's one that supposedly shows like the ghost leaving a body, right, and shit like that. Yeah, 21 grams. That's it. 21, 28. Shit, 28's an ounce, man. old weed selling days, It's still there, right? Yeah, 21 grams, but it's approximate too, right? But they say that that less than an ounce, right? Not a lot, and so, but measurable amount, and so he would have all these dying tuberculosis patients on a scale, right? And within so long of them taking their last breath, ka-chink, the scale would lighten up, and it was pretty consistent. Matter of fact, I think it was totally consistent. The only thing that varied was the slight amount of weight, 21 grams. Yeah. And so, yeah, look it up for sure. Definitely interesting shit. I was down that rabbit hole for a while. That was a long fucking time ago, though, because I put that in the movie that I made in 2012, right? Yeah. The 21 grams. Yeah, for sure. You got to look that up. Very interesting shit. Yeah, right now, everything that's going on that I'm seeing, I'm not following any of the stuff that much, right? Of course, but still, kind of keep a little bit of, up on it. I know that now that they got their favorite fair-haired boy in the big cheese office, right? The things are gonna be a little bit better. It hasn't started yet, but we'll see. Shit, everything up here is so expensive to hell. Fuck, I went to Three Bears, and luckily I put in a job application, and luckily I found they sell the bulk eggs there, 2 dozen for $8, right? And so, okay, I get to eat some eggs again. I haven't been eating them for a while. And so people say, oh, they're bad for you. Fuck, man, come on. Everything has a cycle of good and bad. Joey says it was on Minutes of Horror on YouTube yesterday, halfway through the Ouija board story. Oh, really? Minutes of Horror. Good. And so, Mama, what about the rainbow around the moon? Anyone seen that except me? Right, the halo thing. There was somebody showing that and then zooming in on it, and there's a face, right? I've seen that one too. It looks like it's a pretty good trick photography, but wouldn't be hard to do. Yeah, I think that's what you're seeing is, of course, from all the shit they're spraying. Chemicals in the air, of course, you can see the halos around the light sources. For sure, probably especially the moon, since, the dark sky will show it much better than the daylight sky, right? And so, considering that you're getting that fog there, yeah, probably, yeah, that's it. But yeah, they're doing all their doom and gloom thing with the whole AI thing, right? The takeover, and hey, anybody see Shadow's latest video? He made one, right? He made one recently. Shit, it was showing the robot. They put the robot out there in the Baphomet pose. It's pretty funny, right? The $150,000 companion robot, fuck toy, I'm sure. But okay, what do we got here? So the Mama Cody wants a shirt you make. How do we order? Oh yeah, no problem, for sure. Hit me up in the email and just tell me what you want, what you like, and I'll make it happen. I mean, I could even shoot you some pictures of what I've got going on. I was thinking of making a video with like everything, right? And just, but I'm totally down for doing something new too, all the time. That's what I really want to do, is keep progressing on that new shit, right? All right, I think we got maybe a few minutes left of this Reese interview, and then we can finish up with a little rap session and call it. We're almost at an hour now, so let's do that. Let's listen to the last few things, because they're starting to get into this life after death thing, which is, I find it very interesting, very compelling, because I've always, looked at that as what the fuck. After we're done with the simulation, what do we wake up in the green room, right? But yeah, there's a lot of people with a life after death, similar things. And I just talked to a friend of mine that I play pool with down here, and he had a life and death, and they literally had him on fucking medevac, right? And he went out and then came back. He said felt like he was gone for a bit, but it was only a few moments. And when he came back to, he was seeing the guy was looking at the pilot, the medic over him, and he was shaking his head like, no, done, right? And he went, "Hey, motherfucker!" The dude shit his pants and jumped across the fucking helicopter thing, right? But yeah, the guy Larry, man, he's hella cool dude, man. He's got this big fucking smile, right? He's a fun guy, right? The first time I met him, we were down there playing pool, right? I was down there and I was just like looking at the table, and I was like, had some quarters, and it was already racked up. And I'm like, damn, it's already racked up. And this other guy there was the guy that I'm talking about was standing there. Right? I just meet him now, right? First time I've met him, right? And he's sitting there talking to his stick, and he's kind of looking over at me. And this other guy walks up and he goes, "Hey, who you playing?" And he goes, "This dude," right? He points at me, and I go, yeah. Let me grab oh yeah, sorry about that. Let me grab the stick right now. I played it natural, right? And the other dude fucking walked off, and he was like, he has this big grin on his face. He goes, "You did that perfect, man. I'm fucking Larry," right? And we talked, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. He was a blast. And he said that when he was up there, when he made his trip, right, he was said he went up into the sky, like into space that far, right? And he encountered the Clockwork Elves, right? He said he saw those first. They're the little guys with the droopy ears, right? And they were just giggling, right? They were all around the feet of this man, right? The man turns, and he's in white, and he's surrounded. He said he felt like he was surrounded by love, right? And I go, "Oh, you mean Jesus?" He goes, "But he had red hair, right?" And I'm like, "Hey, still Jesus, right?" And I go, "Or maybe Zeus, right? Who knows?" They based all types of shit on this character, this person, this entity, this being, this deity, this the Son figure in the Trinity. There's the Father, Son, the Holy Ghost, right? The Trinity. And so, and a lot of people do encounter a Jesus type person, right? Long hair, beard, big smile, enveloped in love. Gee. And so he told me the whole story. I was questioning him on it too and stuff. Very interesting. I found it very interesting. I always do. And I got a few more questions for him too, even, right? But it was a good conversation. And I could tell that he appreciated the fact that I was totally not doubting him, totally believing, asked him questions right on there with right. And so that kind of compelled him to say more. So let's hear what these boys got to say about it, and then we can close down our thing too. But they've got some interesting shit, these two. Let's hear them.
so that they can't scream out.
Yeah.
But they're freaking alive. They're alive. They're conscious. They're experiencing freaking organs being ripped out of their chest.
Yeah.
That shit happens.
Yeah. It's hard to imagine anything more. I mean, that's flaying, or if wasn't that what they call it? Flaying. It's a torture technique. It was like skinning someone alive. I mean, it's absolutely
that happens
insane.
every day in America.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think that my gut tells me that there's a relationship between the fentanyl being pumped into the country and organ harvesting.
Totally.
I actually spent some time trying to find some receipts on that to do a report, and I got to the point I'm like, you're not going to find anything. It's one of those things.
Wow. Well, so I mean, we're almost out of time here, Greg, but and we're really getting to the best part of the interview here right now. But I just got to say, I love the fact that you're willing to go down these rabbit holes or rabbit trails, and I think that you're onto something huge here. You're questioning our whole reality, which is the right thing to do. What's next for you?
I think what's next for me is to really start learning the system that we're moving into. And I went through a bit of a sting going through this. Like at first I was like, well, what are you giving up?
Right there. See, learning the system we're going into, right? This AI fucking system, the beast system, right? There's no doubt about it that it's going to happen. We all know that because they're going to follow that playbook to the T. And so it's going to be interesting. It's not going to be fun, I don't think. So, but we all got to take a bite of that shit sandwich, or else, the lucky ones will get to check out. I mean, my mom, praise God, lucky one to get to, doesn't have to go through all this bullshit, even though I still think about her, like, especially when I'm out driving around in her car, right? And getting easier now, but still hit me last night. And finish up what these guys are saying and carry on here.
Are you quitting? Or are you throwing in the towel? Or you can't beat them, join them? And I realized, like I said, I've always been pretty clear from the very beginning, the only thing that's ever going to change anything about the situation we're in is a mass awakening unity event where we stand up next to each other and say no. And what I've learned over the past few years is that's not going to happen because people are way more happy being divided. No one talks about the government. Everyone's talking about the left or the right or the Jews or whatever. Everyone's got a group, a tribe that they're in, and they blame other tribes. And that's just part of it's the human herd splitting up into tribalism. Once you see all this tribalism happening, that tells me, okay, well, this isn't going to happen then, and we're going into the system, whether you like it or not. And so I'm spending a lot of time trying to learn what's happening. I don't believe it's going to be all bad. I believe it's just a huge reset. It is a huge economic reset. It's even written in the stars. Whether or not you believe in following astrology, you cannot deny that astrology is some type of pattern, some type of script of this matrix that we're in. It reflects very deeply in this matrix, whatever it is. And the age of Aquarius, which is what we're moving into, if you look at Aquarius, what that means, it does mean more technology, believe it or not, that's in there, and more control. So it's also, like I said, there's going to be a level of freedom that we haven't had also. So it's not all black and white. It's not all good or bad. It's both. We're going into a very strange time. So my next step is going to be learning about that more, reporting on it more, because I do believe that, okay, so maybe we can't pull back the entire curtain and expose the dragon. Maybe we're not going to do that. But what we could do is we could distance ourselves from the herd so we don't get trampled to death. We could start setting up systems of our own right now so that we can go into this age as less of a slave as possible.
Yeah.
One of the interesting things to me is, for example, the UCC. That's a subject I haven't done much reports on because there's not a lot of meat there. But the whole idea of the UCC is this system set up where the birth certificate is sort of a bond that has value. The birth certificate represents this human cow that I'm walking around with. It has a lot of value. We all have these birth certificates, and this is sort of our registration in the old UC system. And for many decades, people were trying to figure out how to break the code in that UCC and gain freedom back from these contracts that were made by our parents and by our governments and stuff like that. And now that we're entering into this new system, it seems to me to make sense that there is an opportunity to start right off the bat in a proper way and get good contracts done
You hear this?
and get things set up in a way where you're not a complete slave. I think there must be a remedy. That's part of the system. They do have rules that they seem to play by on this human farm. And one of those rules is you have to provide a remedy, which is part of why they allow people like you and me,
Boom.
I think, to do the work that they do, is because they have to allow people to tell the truth about things. They have to.
See, he's just saying it right there. Fucking dead on again as usual. Literally saying it right there. They have to provide the remedy, and this is exactly what I've been studying too, right? And this is in the redemption manual, right in there. That's part of their rules, right? They have to provide the remedy, and they have the reason why they let these, like he's saying, let the truthers talk, because they've got to give that opposite side the yin to the yang, right? And so how they always have to tell us how they're going to do it, how they're going to kill us, right, and make people believe in it, so it'll happen. And so they also have to have the other side. They have to have the opposing side. They got to keep the fucking ant farm shook up, right? And so that's exactly why, and I've said this a long time ago, that's why they have like Alex Jones and them around, controlled opposition, right? Whether he believes it or not, or whether he knows it or not, or he's just a great actor, or if he is Bill Hicks. Yeah, they got to keep the fucking ant farm shook up, because, you know, they can get those guns otherwise. There's got to have to be the Civil War, and they could accomplish that very easily through the aggravating current, as we all know, just like they did they showed in that movie, The Kingsman, right? Proper frequency. Fuck, man, that's an old one. A German scientist proved this. That's part of the book Nick Begich wrote about the harp, right? Because the German scientist was grafting wires into the rat's brains, right? And he can make them go into sleep, coma. He can make them go into fits of rage. They would tear themselves up, right? And shit like that. Insanity, right? And then he found out that he didn't have to even graft the wire to the brains. He just bombard their electromagnetic sphere with that proper frequency, because every mood, every emotion has a frequency, right? And so, and this is why they had all those bells in the past too, right? That was calming, very healing, calming thing, right? And you walk through that archway and they'd be hit with these frequencies that would wipe out any disease or anything too, right? Oh, they had to get rid of those. And they said, oh no, they needed bullets for the war. Yeah, fuck you, right? See all these gigantic, fucking huge fields full of these bells, right? Healing frequency. Yeah, and this part of the reason why I did this when I did the making music with the beast, a lot of that is in the frequency of 432 for that whole bit that I did. As a matter of fact, I was like, make all the songs in 432. I don't know if it's still doing it, right? But that's what I was doing with that DJ show, or DJ, more like a story, right? From a futuristic past. We had the two rival DJs, right? And competing over the healing frequency instead of the killing frequency, the exact opposite of what's going on now, right? But that music, I still listen to it. I listen to all the music still that I've made, mostly more than anything else. And it continues to compel me to have to do something with it, because a lot of it's got some good stuff in it, right? And the words, right? The lyrics, plus the frequency too. And this is why I played the Jackstream one to start with. Instead of the ones that I made for myself, right? I wanted to hear that Jackstream one. That's on my playlist too, and I still listen to that. And so, shit, I should probably I don't know if any of you have ever visited my Suno site. Shit, I'll just post a link to it right now, just in case you want to check it out. I haven't made, of course, I haven't made all the songs public, right? But I made a good number of them public, over 100 in one playlist alone. There's like 127 or something like that on one playlist, and then there's the frequency playlist is about 38 or 40 of them. Now, don't get me wrong, a lot of those frequency ones are garbage too. I was just trying all different genres, and so I'd have, you know, something to cover in case, you know, I did get a DJ gig and so he's there to play some techno, right, or whatever, right? I was making songs of every type, and now that's literally what I'm doing with each song. Is I'm making a rock version or country version, a fucking hip hop version, all that. Well, not really hip hop that much, but you know what I mean. Make multiple different versions of every song I write now, so that way I can go and do a theme if I have to do a theme show. Play all the songs in a country style, right? And so it's pretty cool, right? And so we post that link. Let's see what Stephen Crumley's saying here first. Thanks for the stream tonight, Reg. Definitely enjoy the break in the Weeks of Madness. Absolutely. Thanks for joining. I know I was like, I was, it's either that or go to the fucking open mic tonight. And even though I'm gonna stop by there, I was like, no, I can't miss the stream. Fuck that open mic, right? No, it's fun. Those guys are fun, and I might make some money off them here someday, right? Tell you what I'm gonna do. I'll go to my playlist and I'll put up the 127 song one and the link to that. And anybody who feels like it can check it out. It's got the one that I did for my mom, right? On this, pretty much in the early start, maybe the first or second one. And then Have a Good Day is the first one. I like that. Have a Good Day. Dalton Carrington's the guy, the country persona. And they got the old version of Free to Dream. And then it goes on. So you can check it out if you want. Don't have to if you don't want. And all that, right? Let me see if I can fucking copy this thing. But anybody who wants to try AI, heck, then I can send you a link to get you some free credits. You know what I mean, man? Shit, you gotta try the beast. You gotta try the beast. There's a playlist there, and that'll take you to my channel. It's the Maestro, right? MAISTRO instead of MAE, right? The MAI Maestro, right? Oh, I thought it was super clever. But yeah, maybe we'll go out on a song. What do you think? Yeah. Let's do one of my mom's songs that you guys maybe have not heard. I overplay that one too much. And so we'll go to, let's see, it'll be easier for me to find if I search it. And so it's one she did. It was it was a cool rendition of a song because it finally did something it never did before, was have a female and male voice when I tried to put that in there, and it finally did it on this one, and I was like, what? It's called A Cry. And my mom was a great poet. She was absolutely. Okay, there it is right there. Good. So 2:53, 2 minutes 53 seconds. There's two versions though that I have a thumbs up on. That's right. One I published, and then there's another one that might be even a little bit smoother. Yeah. Right there, License to Die. That was one of the funny ones that I did, right? What are they gonna ask for next? A license to die, even, right? That shit was funny. I made multiple versions of that one too. Fucking dope. So let me cut this Greg Reese bit. But you heard him, man. He's right on top of it, man. As usual. Exact same thing that I've going through my head for years too, right? And I mean, this is probably the reason why I liked him so much. But yeah, I mean, he covered shit so much. I mean, apparently he's got his own thing going on now too. ReeseReport.com. I'm gonna check it out after. I just heard him on the interview talking about that. And so you could still get some Greg Reese. Still got it happening, right? Even though he can't get it on band video anymore. But I clicked when I looked over there before I came on here, right? I went there and they had Joe Bob Briggs on the front, right? He just got out of the fucking J6. He's been in there for 4 fucking years, right? 3-4 years, whatever. Trump finally let them all out, right? Fucking. But at least they got out, right? That's the good thing. Pardon them away, and I thought I might check that out. Even Joe Bob, he was a good, jolly, fun guy, right? I want to hear. He looks all skinny and shit. Oh my god! But he got a big grin on his face because he's out of that shithole, and so definitely probably worth a check out. So here we go. Let's try. In case you guys have ever heard it, this one. I mean, emotionless for me too, right? But here we go. It's called A Cry. And a great poem by my mother. Here we go.
I see a dark stirring, rising from an old cry. A voice standing amongst the many. A voice black with indignation. Which was born across the waters not many days ago. Of multi trails of bursting luminescent flare. Listening to focus, scattering power, edging memory. Lightning like mercury on my mind, rising from an old cry. A call to the station, undeniable. Volcanic melting, red and black in blood. Where then is justice? Search goes searching in the recesses of your mind. Ooh, is there a stirring in the deep dark waters? One who caused a lurking sharp and called for blood, for blood. As surely as death, for death, for rich and fat, to cinch the belt, cease to choke. Oh, poverty of soul, where the order, rising from an old cry. Dissolving of those eyes, wait, oh Jesus. Ooh.
Oh my God, right? Man, that one. By mother's poetry, oh my God. Wow. It is really, really good stuff, right? And I barely scratched the surface on it. But that one right there, wow. The male and female voice, right? Really good. Out of curiosity, I want to see what this other one sounds like.
I see a dark stirring, rising from an old cry.
Right. Right. Probably gets better later. But no, that one definitely. Yeah, that always gets me, right? The one though that she writes for her friend of hers that was missing. That one always gets me. Oh my God. Because it's say we're looking for you, right? Can breathe now. But yeah, my mom wrote a lot about the Lord and about Jesus too, right? And so it's always good. And she wrote one about the boat that I grew up on, the Polar Storm, right? She wrote one about that. She wrote one about my brothers and sisters, and I'd say there's even one for me there. And it's not very long, but it's So I'll have to pull that one out sometime. And very, very cool. And then she rewrote it to include my brothers to write. But I know that it was originally just for me because I found the handwritten one, right? And so, God, why am I thinking about this? I'm about ready to break down here. So, but yeah, I'm going to break that one out sometime and make a song out of it. And maybe even just read it. The whole file is just right there. It's a fucking huge file. 2 of them, actually. It's insane. Ugh. Yeah, this one's full. And then there's another fat file, too. You see, these ones are like, some of the quality ones are in here, and then the other loose ones are in the other one, the other file, which is like here, I think. Oh wait, no, this is the legal shit. Boo! No, it's here in my filing system. I'm gonna pull that file cabinet in here and start doing it right. I have to because this is just insane. Different scripts and different comedy things and all kinds of fucking everything, right? But luckily I got it all cleaned back up and it's going good. Maybe I'll get a job. Might possibly, right? All right, we'll go ahead and wind this down. And I want to encourage you to get out there and boost your immune system now, right? Got one of old girlfriend, right? Has contacted me on Facebook a while back, right? And she hit me up and said, "Hey, I got baby parakeets. You want one, right?" And I was like, "I don't know, right? I don't think about that about parakeet. God, I don't think so." But she said she was laid up because hip replacement surgery that's gone awry, right? And so she's bedridden, and it says it's gonna be like that for a fucking year. And I was like, ugh. Right? And so I always advise everybody, don't do it. Rebuild your own equipment. You can do it. Collagen will do it. Fucking Sheila G, collagen, bee pollen, bee honey, raw honey, cinnamon. Mix it all together, drinking hot water every morning. God damn it. Everything will fucking heal. They found that bones do regenerate. That's how they heal. They don't heal, they regenerate, right? And I knew this too because when I broke my femur, right? That's what happened. And when the doctor told me, he says you can't put the bones end together because it's going to grow and your leg is going to be long, right? And so we've got to put it just at the right hug, you know. And I thought about that and I was like, what the fuck? It'll grow, right? I'm like, and it stuck in my head, right? And sure as shit. And you can even redo teeth, right? Proper frequency. It's all about the frequency. Just like Tesla said, if you want to know the secrets of the universe and the secrets of our own temple, it's all in the frequency. So yeah, I think I'm gonna fucking get brave and go jump in the water here in one of these days coming up very shortly, and I'll probably bring the camera down and do that because it's time, and it's January. Got to do it, right? I gotta just set every fucking thing aside for several hours and go down there and chill like I used to, and hang with the trees, and do one of those sessions again. I got to do it. It's just been too much lately, and now that the creek's open. Hell yeah, I got to do it before it freezes closed again because it probably will. All right. Big love to everybody. Thanks for joining. Do check out the song list, and we'll catch you next time. We'll do another one coming up on Wednesday. And shit, wouldn't that be cool if everything worked out? We could stream it. Oh my God. Down at the creek. That's something to think about. See, the only reason why I haven't been in yet is because it's just been fucking pouring rain like you wouldn't believe here. I mean, literally, I've been driving through lakes of the shit. It's reminding me of Southeast Alaska. It's crazy. But normally that would be snow, but it's just like, oh my God. And then now it froze up again and roads are glazed over again and shit. Which is the awesome cycle here. And it's like breakup and, we've been going through this breakup thing already a couple times now. And even there was a town where they're fucking the trees bloods are start blooming, right? Because it's all temperature driven here. I saw the pictures of it. They're like, what the fuck's going on, right? It's January. So yeah, we're in that weird cycle. And it's because of all the shit they're throwing at you guys. Changed all the weather around, right? So, all right. Big love to everybody. Catch up with you again boost that immune system now, right? Go out, give somebody a hug. They're going to need it. God knows I do. And I'll see you next time. Big love to everybody. Get a steak. You know what? That's what I did too. I got the eggs and I got the steak. Fucking had steak and eggs. It was so awesome. Oh, shit. All right. Love you, people. And we'll see you very, very soon. Cheers.